Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you how Social Security benefits are going to start going down. This isn't a wild conspiracy or some report I got from a fringe political group. This is backed up with a report from the Social Security Administration that details exactly how this is going to happen, when this will start happening, and who will be impacted. Before we jump into that report, I don't need to remind any of you that things are going to change with Social Security in the next few years. With the shortfall of the trust fund in 2033, or potentially even earlier than that, there's likely going to be a host of new laws and rules coming out. As things change, I'll be here to tell you what you need to know. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click that notifications bell too. So let me ask you a question. Let's say that I enter into an arrangement with someone to pay them $1,000 per month for the rest of their life. But when I send them the money, I ask for $100 back. How much did I actually pay them? Well, I think you'd probably all agree that I paid them $900. I sent them $1,000 and asked for $100 to be returned. Now, the next year I give them the same payment, but I ask them to return $110. So now how much did I pay them? Well, I think you'd all again agree that the money they actually got to keep was how much I paid them. The amount I sent them was really irrelevant. This is what's starting to happen with Social Security payments. You have an arrangement with the Social Security Administration to pay you a certain amount, but then they want some of that money back. When they first started asking for some of this money to be returned, it only affected a very small number of people receiving benefits. But now it's over half of all recipients, and it's growing. And not only is the affected group size growing, but the percentage of benefit payments that they have to return is also increasing. Now, this isn't a new rule or something that has made it under the radar. This is actually a nearly 40-year-old law that is finally starting to have the effect that the creators knew it would. And it's only going to get worse. What we're talking about here is a means test disguised as a tax. Now, I'm not going to go into depth about how that tax is calculated, but if you want to know, I just released a video that covers this. President Reagan signed the Social Security Amendments of 1983 on April 20th of that year, and it was passed just in time because in just 73 days from that date, on July 1st of 1983, there wouldn't have been enough money to pay benefits. Under this new law, up to 50% of Social Security benefits became taxable for a very small number of high-income people who were receiving benefits. But then 10 years later, the Deficit Reduction Act of 1993 expanded the taxation of Social Security benefits. And under that act, an additional bracket was added where up to 85% of benefits could be taxable. Now, since those brackets have been added, the income thresholds that trigger taxation have never changed. They are still frozen at the levels they were when signed into law. They are likely to remain there into the future. Needless to say, income levels have increased since then, and income levels will likely continue to increase. This means that with a set of static tax thresholds, more and more people will be caught in this tax net and have to give back some of their benefit payment. According to the Social Security Administration, by 2050, 10.9% of all Social Security payments will have to be paid back. So that means that for every $100 in benefit payments that go out, nearly $11 will be returned to the Social Security Administration. And for individuals who have other sources of income, that percentage will be even higher. Let me show you how this has worked so far. When these rules first came out, the dollar amount of taxes collected on Social Security benefits was fairly insignificant for the first 20 years. But then the compounding effect of wage growth started to catch up, and the revenue from taxing Social Security started to become more and more significant. And if you look at the projections from the Social Security Administration, the tax revenue from benefit payments is expected to double in just the next 8 years. But the big question is, what can you do about it? Well, unfortunately, you probably can't change the law. Giving back some of your future benefits is likely inevitable. But this doesn't mean that you can't build a plan to lessen the impact. For example, distributions from a Roth IRA or Roth 401k are not counted against you when determining if your Social Security benefits are taxable. You can have an unlimited level of income from those sources and still not pay tax on Social Security. So if you don't have either of those types of accounts, you might ought to investigate starting to save in one or even do a Roth conversion if you're retired. Or it could be that you need to take income from your retirement savings first while delaying Social Security, and that way you'll eventually be able to get a greater share of your retirement income from Social Security, which should lower your overall taxable income. Another strategy would be to use the qualified charitable distributions from your IRAs once you turn 70 and a half. You know, for those who are in the habit of giving money to their church or some other nonprofit, that can be a big benefit. Now, ultimately, I don't know if any of those will be an option for you, but the most important thing to realize is that filing for Social Security is not a do-it-yourself project. I know it seems simple, but before you file, you need to have a plan. You need to work with someone who can help you develop a step-by-step strategy. You know, for so long, the focus has been on maximizing Social Security benefits, just looking at the filing strategy that will net the most in gross benefits over a certain life expectancy. I think that is the wrong approach. Instead, the focus needs to be on optimizing your benefits, making sure the filing strategy fits with all of the other pieces of your financial life. And if you want some help building that plan, there's a link down below where you can schedule a consultation with someone on my team. Thanks for watching.